Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new DC Collectibles Batmobile from their Batman the Animated Series line. Possibly one of DC Collectibles' most anticipated pieces in this new line. This is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think a lot of people really expected this to get made, and when it was finally revealed that it was being made, everybody went just bananas for it. Basically, we have an in-scale Batmobile, which fits with all of their new figures. This is amazing. On the side, you can see really nice image of the Batmobile. You come around here to the top, and you can see just how big this package is. It really is large. But on the top here, you can see it says Batman the Animated Series. You come around to this side, and it's the actual front of the Batmobile. Come around here to the back, and you can see a product shot as well as an illustration showing working lights, which is really phenomenal. And then you got the silhouette of Batman there on the side. Come around to the back, just got an empty canvas here. But all in all, this, like I said, is probably, at least for me, I don't know about other people, but one of the most amazing Batmobiles in the long history of Batmobiles. And having one just massive like this is really very exciting. So without further ado, let's get this guy out here and see how cool it actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Batmobile opened up and out of its packaging. And many of you know that in terms of Batmobiles, the '89 Batmobile is probably my favorite of all time. And a lot of what was done in the animated series drew a lot of influence from that '89 movie, including, of course, the Batmobile. Now, obviously, it has a little bit more of a stylized look, but the very long front section, you got the kind of wings here that are part of the kind of wheel well, all has a very similar feel to how that '89 Batmobile was. So this is naturally going to be one of my favorites as well, so I was really looking forward to this. And while I absolutely love it, I'm going to deviate from a lot of reviewers out here and be a little bit more critical of this. The first thing that I do want to mention is that the MSRP is about $100 on this, which is what you're going to pay if you go into a comic book store. Now, if you go to a place like Big Bad Toy Store, I think it's $84.99, but obviously you're going to pay for shipping, so that's going to bring the price up a little bit more, so I do see why Big Bad Toy Store sells this for cheaper. So at that $100, I gotta be honest and feel like it's not worth $100. I know a lot of people are going to say that I'm being very nitpicky or critical, but honestly, my job as a reviewer is to look at this as objectively as possible and determine if the value is there. I'm going to try and do my best to show you the things that I don't like on this as well as the things that I do like to hopefully help you guys make your own decision. Now, obviously, for the look, you can see really very sleek looking. It's not necessarily a credit to DC Collectibles, it's just a credit to the animators that made this. But I do give DC Collectibles props in recreating it. Really solid looking, but one thing that I don't particularly like, you come around here to the top, and I don't know how well that's coming across. I mean, you can see in some areas it's nice and smooth. This top section, though, you can see has some really, I don't know, I mean, it doesn't come off. It's kind of a weirdish sort of, I don't know what you would call it, almost like swirling effect in the actual plastic. You can see it's not as smooth, like right up here, it's a little divoted. You come around back here and you can see some of those divots kind of through here as well. That kind of bothers me, honestly. Now, I think that they could have done a little bit better of a job with it. It's not terrible, but again, you're paying $100 for this piece, so I would like a little bit more attention to that kind of stuff. I mean, it's very simple. You got the very matte black color. You got the gray for the hubcaps. You can see that the front wheels here are on the axle. You come around here to the bottom. You can see that the tires have some really nice tread. This is the battery compartment. It takes 3 AA batteries, which are not included. And I do kind of wish that the switch wasn't on the bottom. I don't know really where you could put it. Maybe you could have put it somewhere here on the back. I don't know. I mean, that probably would have kind of destroyed the look a little bit. There's some dust on there. But all in all, it's just kind of an inconvenient place to have it. I mean, if you wanted to turn the lights on and off, you constantly have to pick it up, flip the switch, put it back down. And if you have the figures in there, you're probably going to mess things up. So it's kind of a annoying place, honestly, to put it. You can see that through the light here with my background and everything, you can see that the window here is a little bit of a bluish in color, which does look really cool. You come around here to the back of it, and again, really nice detail. You got some tail lights, you got the obvious flame exhaust. You do have some lights up here for some more tail light kind of effects. Come around here to the front, and you can see that you got that silver paint that's kind of used here, put on the front as well, and then you got some headlights, I suppose. You got some nice silver paint there as well. You come around here, and I'm going to try showing this off as best as I can, but you could actually slide the cockpit forward, which is nice, but in doing it, you get your fingers all over there, and it kind of gets fingerprints all on there, but the inside looks terrific. You can see some nice panels in there with some buttons, and you got the green display options right there. You come back here a little bit more so that you can see you got a little gear shift right here, which again, it's kind of hard to see. That's a little bit rubbery. He does have seatbelts, which is kind of interesting. I guess, I mean, Batman always wore seatbelts when he was driving around in this, so they recreated that pretty nicely. Some nice detail here on the back of it. One thing that a lot of people don't seem to actually mention is that the steering wheel actually does extend back. People complain, oh, I can't get the Batman to reach the steering wheel. It slides back. So, I mean, it's meant to do that. I don't know why people... I think it should be more like that, where the buttons are going to be up there where you could push the buttons, I would imagine. But you can have it slide out. Actually, I don't know if the buttons are meant to even be there. But either way, you can see that slides out perfectly fine. So when you're seating Batman right in there, you can have that come all the way back. So... yeah, he can reach the steering wheel perfectly fine. I don't know why people complain about it. They just, I mean, it's not in the instructions, so I guess they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to bother touching it to see if it, actually does it. But all in all, I mean, it is nice looking. Don't get me wrong. I really do like the way that it looks. I don't feel like I'm getting $100 value out of this. Now, it does have this light gimmick. You come around here to the bottom, like I said, you flip this switch, and you can see that the headlights here light up very nicely. I kind of wish that it was more of a uniform light instead of just one light right there. I kind of wish that the entire thing lit up. It still kind of does. I mean, turning it off, you can see it still kind of lights up, but I wish there were more lights in there. You come around here to the cockpit, and again, real cool detail. It's weird though, because those are green, and then when it lights up, they turn blue, but really sharp. And then when you actually close this, you can still see those instrument panels through the actual windshield, which is really nice. And then for the last section, you got this on the back with the thruster, and then you got the tail lights down here. You got the tail light built into the little wing section. I guess there's some bleed through these little vents right here. It's kind of hard to get it on the proper angle to actually see it, but you can kind of see it coming through. I mean, I really dig that. That's really very, very cool looking. But again, is it worth that $100 price point that you're paying for this thing? I don't necessarily feel that it's really the price that we should be paying for this. I know that sounds kind of mean, but honestly, if I'm going to be paying $100 for it, I want it, I guess, to just feel like there's more to it. I mean, as it is, and I'm trying to get it to, without rolling, my table's rounded, so it's going to roll. But, I mean, in general, I just don't feel like I'm getting what I paid for it. Now, you can take, if you have your Batman figures, this is the only one that I have open right now, but basically it would be the exact same thing. Just put the arms up. You can take this, the seatbelt, obviously. Let me see if I can come over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. The seatbelt's a little bit tricky to kind of do, but you just take this, you kind of take this cape, very pliable cape, so it really does help with that. And then you just, I mean, if you wanted to put the seatbelt on, you kind of just throw it over them. It's kind of a pain in the butt, so I'm not even going to bother doing it, but you just take this guy, tuck him in, just like so. You do have to make sure that you get the cape all the way down, just like that. Kind of wedge things around, and I didn't get the cape in there as well as I wanted to. Let's see, let me try it this way. It's kind of hard to show you guys this, so I am sorry, but there we go. Get them in there, get these little arm pieces down, got Batman, and then again, take the little steering wheel and extend it back, and then you can have his hands kind of line up with it. So you do have that, and the cool thing is that when the lights are on, you can close this, and you can actually, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it because of all the lights that I have, but you can actually see the lights glowing on Batman's face. So that's really cool. And then, as you can see, there are 2 seats for it. So hey, we got Batman and we got Robin. So let's get Robin here. He doesn't need to wear a seatbelt either. He's, you know, it's the boy wonder. His cape is a little bit more difficult to work with because it kind of sits up straight like that. So it's a little bit more difficult, but you just slide that in there, kind of push him down. So he tends to want to just slide all the way down and fall in there. So you can kind of get it like that, and you can have Batman and Robin both. I don't know what he's doing with his hand. He's like, "What's up?" But you can have both Batman and Robin in there. So that's really cool that they designed this to have both of the Caped Crusaders traveling around in the Batmobile. I think that's really neat. I mean, all in all, I think that it's a really cool piece. I am absolutely thrilled to have it, but I think where I would be happy is maybe, you know, the $60 to $75 price. If you get it through Big Bad Toy Store, like I said, it is 85 bucks, but you're gonna have to pay for shipping on it, which is gonna make the price come up to about 95 bucks. And I just feel that that's a little bit too much for this. It's not a bad piece whatsoever, and I'm glad that I have it in my collection. Honestly, I'm just not as kind of giddy over this as everybody else. I mean, I've seen several other videos, and everybody just seems kind of awestruck by this, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see the price and the $100 in it. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a heck of a lot in terms of pieces. I mean, this is all just one molded piece that for the most part, I mean, like you got these bits right here, these, the front grille section, that's all molded in there as well. So it's like this whole top section is just one piece, and I don't see a lot here. I don't know. I know I'm probably sounding overly critical, but at the end of the day, I still like it. I still recommend it. I just wish the price was a little bit better. But if this is something that you're interested in picking up, like I said, it is available at comic book shops, or as always, there's Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can pick this up and add it to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.